Before we jump into approving the agenda, though, if we just want to go around the room and do introductions, and while we're doing that.
Wait. Yeah, he raised his hand halfway over. But Dan had a comment.
I was just going to say that thank you for being patient, Dan, and sorry that ran over, but we will take public comment at this time.
Yeah,
Thank you. I'm Dan Handelman with Portland Copwatch, and my comments kind of all interrelated to everything you've been talking about, because as far as the Charter Commission is concerned, we recommended several years ago, 2007, when the last Charter Commission came together, that the Independent Police Review Division be given its own place in the city charter, because they've had conflicts between what they say and what the city attorney says, so they need to have their own attorney, right? We have added since that time in our thinking that the Ombudsman's office should also have that same position, because if they say, oh, well, what the city has done is wrong, and the city says you're going to cost us money, they should be protected from that. And then we also, after the HRC was created, we said they should be in that same place in the charter.
And by we, you mean Portland Copwatch?
We, Portland Copwatch, said
okay.
that. And we brought, I actually went to a Charter Commission meeting and brought that up, and now there's a subcommittee that's only dealing with the Human Rights Commission, and I'm hoping that the other two legs of that tripod I was just talking about don't get lost, because I think you could have a strong, it doesn't have to all be in one office, but it definitely should be in one place that's protected in the charter, where you have your own legal advice. So I'm glad that in this last discussion you talked about independence, because when the charter discussion is coming up, these are words that I didn't hear as part of what you're talking about with the charter. Independence, staff. What city council member do you report to? Or do you report to the whole city council, which I think was the vision of the original ordinance. Was that the whole city council gets advice from the Human Rights Commission when they have a human rights issue on the table. And that's what they don't want. They don't like it. They want to have one person that you're responsible to. They want to have one person your staff goes to. And they're going to have to deal with it if it gets put in the charter, right?
And that is what is in our ordinance, right?
Right, no, it is what's in your ordinance. But what your ordinance is about to be rewritten underneath your eyes. And that's why I'm glad you're going to at least send somebody to this committee, because that they're just going to go ahead with their work if you don't show up. So I hope that I understand. I think it's good that you're honoring the people who aren't at the table, but I think that you need to be at the table with your voice, or they're going to rewrite it despite you. It doesn't matter. I mean, because then you're on your own, and even if you try to start up a 501c3 that's like a neighborhood association, the city might just say, yeah, well, you people aren't relevant anymore. We have a Human Rights Commission. It's part of the Office of Equity. You're not on it anymore. That's been done. The Budget Advisory Committee is the police. Boom. All got fired. They brought on a whole new bunch of people. So don't think that might not happen. So I think it's good for you to be at the table. In the same realm of the city not necessarily showing respect to this group that needs to, the new members got added on the consent agenda. And I don't know if that was because nobody could show up, but it just seems to me that if you're such an important body, that they should have had a formal presentation that people could come and hear who the people were, hear what the resumes are, and have a little public comment about how important the Human Rights Commission is. It was on the consent agenda. I don't understand why that happened. I did not get a notification about this meeting. I normally get notification about CPRC meetings, but I didn't see any notification about it. The agenda wasn't up on the web. The last agenda is from March, and I understand why. I'm not blaming anybody here. I'm just saying it's very frustrating. You got to keep doing your work, but you also got to keep communicating to the public what's going on.
Actually, notice we received a notice. Who sent that notice?
Sarah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Can you add Dan to our district?
But who gets those notices?
I send them to you guys, and I send them to the media list that Maria gave me. It's a big, huge list.
Yeah.
Okay, but if there's public members who've signed up on this list, it would be great if we can.
And does the announcement go on the website?
Kofi generally puts that on there because I don't have the rights to fiddle around with the Human Relations website, and he's generally pretty good about updating things. So.
I would disagree. He's generally not. I mean, it's been a hard issue for us to get that done, and we really probably should streamline it to make it automatic, getting those web notices.
Might be easier if you were able to get the
So yeah, I'm sorry, I just had a couple more small little things, but thank you for discussing that.
We're trying to help you.
I'm very confused about your very firm position that you do not want to be subsumed by the equity office, and I'm also hearing commissioners say, and then the director of the equity office will possibly be our staff person. So are you willing to be part of the equity office, or are you not willing to be? You got to be clear about that before you make any kind of presentation, because it's very confusing to me as somebody who's looking from the outside. But I think, again, in emphasizing independence and your ability to decide who the staff person is, which is also written in the ordinance,
And
right?
also in our needs assessment.
Right. So don't lose sight of any of those things. And I had one more thing I wanted to make sure to say. Oh yeah, when you do your budget stuff, which I'm very glad you're going to take charge of that within your own group, maybe have a treasury or a budget group, whatever. Can you make sure that that money stuff is available to the public too, so we get to see what it is and what you're deciding on? Okay, that'd be great. Thank
We
you.
can talk about it in this open meeting.
Great. Thank you.
I'd like to respond to Dan on the consent agenda. We had lost a number of HRC members, and the nominating committee specifically asked the mayor and Commissioner Fritz to take to council the names of our nominees as quickly ASAP, so that we could get people sworn in for this meeting today. And so that consent agenda piece was not at the political level, it was at our level of just wanting to be able to keep up forums and get people here and get these new energies involved. So thank you for pointing out what the perceived community response might have been, because we were just wanting it to happen fast, and that was a fast way to do it.
And we're awesomely happy that our new members are here.
And one other thing is, I have not heard anything from the three people that I believe are on the IPR, anything at the Charter Commission meetings about having any interest in doing anything. I mean, that simply has not come up other than your statement at public comment.
Have you heard something from the ombuds office?
No.
And can I just add something to that? I forgot to say that the auditor, Gary Blackmer, actually put that forward to the city council in 2008. He wanted there to be a vote in the city to add the ombudsman to the charter. And Dan Saltzman said, now's not the time to do that. We need to do that in the context of the broader charter commission. So now Gary Blackmer's gone, and everybody seems to have forgotten that happened, except for me. So now you know.
They don't invite you to join the Charter Commission committee?
Nope.